Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Roll call in advance, you don't even gotta mention. Swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity. Flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gonna end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, change. Yeah, send it to the deck. Yeah, sell it through the stack. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy on this channel. We cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live on the OnChain Hour, and this one is going to be spectacular, guys, because today is the first day of Bitcoin Las Vegas. There's going to be a crap load of news coming out of that, guys. Really excited. But the only problem is Vegas isn't up yet. It's still like 8 o'clock in the morning over there. So this is a little different than when they're overseas or here, because we have to wait a little while to get the information. But today is going to be jammed packed. Tomorrow's show is going to be absolutely insane because we're going to have a lot of stuff to cover, because today I truly believe is going to be news after news after news. I mean, we did get some news this morning. It was funny. I got on this morning. I was doing my research. Couldn't find any news, guys. There was like nothing. And then all of a sudden, one thing after another from Trump media buying $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin potentially. And then, Vivek Ramaswamy's company now. And then Howard Lutnick coming out and saying Cantor Fitzgerald is going to be the borrowing and lending. Guys, this is nuts. It is crazy right now to be in Bitcoin. It is crazy right now to be in an ecosystem where we are set to explode. Not to mention you have, Dog, Bitcoin Rune sitting number 5 on Cookie.fun in the best, right? I mean, the most tweets, the most recognition. It is absolutely insane. I can't wait to show you guys that a little bit later. But let's get the show started. And without further ado, I'll bring my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? First day of Bitcoin Vegas, first day of this craziness. We saw Bitcoin kind of shoot up to about over 110 with the Trump news, and then got back down to 108. Like, what's going on, bro?
These market makers can't let us have too much fun, right? And they don't want to go insolvent. So I don't know. It definitely felt like market manipulation at its best, right? And going back up even, and then coming back down, hitting all the stop losses, not letting people like get too greedy here. So I do think that we're gonna kind of like settle down here and then eventually start to work our way back up. But it looks like they're not done, chopping the block here, because it seems like they keep every time they let it go back up, they're bringing it back down to that low 109, mid 109, even down to 108. But we'll see how the rest of today plays. I mean, today's news, multiple bullish headlines, right? You had, like you said, the Bitcoin reserve that's getting started by the Trump media, as well as Sharplink, I believe, a gaming company throwing $425 million into a Ethereum reserve, right? So it's starting to get really exciting. Let's see if it reflects in the price charts, though.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Let's kind of jump into some stuff here. So I did find this morning. So at $115,000 Bitcoin, there's going to be $8.5 billion worth of shorts. There's so much liquidation that could come with a jump to 115 that could just blow minds. So I just wanted to make sure everyone's aware of that. At 115, the amount of liquidations happen. Bears are dead at 115. They're completely done.
Why aren't they taking them out?
I mean, maybe they're gearing up for it, right? They want to take out this side first and then go into that side. I don't know, but we'll find out. That was really interesting. I want to put that out there. But let's kind of get into today's news. When I was searching for stuff this morning, I did come across this. It said Trump media plans to raise $3 billion to buy Bitcoin and crypto, marking the biggest political backed push yet to make the U.S. a crypto capital of the world. And then, about an hour later, you were like, yo, you hear the Trump stuff? Well, yeah, they're looking to raise. Like, no, they raised. Trump announces $2.5 billion Treasury deal using Crypto.com for custody, mainly Crypto.com. So what do you think about this deal here with Trump media basically trying to be a mini Michael Saylor at this point?
It seems to be smart because we've seen the blueprint. This is a kind of a little late in the game to come in, but like it's not really because we all see where Bitcoin is headed in the future, or at least most likely, right? And so, but hey, look, this is big. This is a big statement. It pumped the price from 109 to like 110.5. So a big like 1.5 $1,500 jump up, but it happened within, I would say, like probably like a minute. So I think it's a big news headline for sure. It probably puts some confidence in some entities that have been thinking about doing this. We'll see how contagious this becomes now. Like what other companies start to do this and announce it, right? But it's obviously a big headline. It's huge. I mean, Trump media. So for them to go fully in this, and they do have like safe. They have a kind of a safe product. Well, it seems to be safe, from the outside with World Liberty Fi. So if they can continually like start to build these new products and have like infrastructure where this is a new financial system, this could be huge for Trump's media entity and everything else.
Yeah, I 100% agree. What do you think about the second part of this, though? Using Crypto.com and Anchorage for custody. They're not using Coinbase. This is one of the first $1 billion Treasury deal that I've seen, and Coinbase wasn't involved. Crypto.com.
Great for Crypto.com. Great for the Crow token, probably just because any like PR like this is going to boost anything that's related to them. I don't know how I feel about it. Do I feel like it's a little riskier than Coinbase? I do, just because what we know about like Coinbase. Crypto.com has never been insolvent or any issues like that. But and plus, I think they pretty much know if something were to happen that they'd be in hot water, right? So I think it's okay, but it does definitely bring more awareness to Crypto.com, right? They also are the sponsor of the old staple, like the now it's Crypto.com Center in LA, right, for the Lakers, and so this is big for them. That's a big, huge win. We'll see if they continue like to grow their brand, because this is a good opportunity for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're known for their exchange, right? To your point, you said, they've never been insolvent. When FTX was happening, everyone was looking for the next one to fall. And Coinbase and Crypto.com were both just like, no, they're fine. And you know what I mean? So that's a big deal, especially when Luna crashed. Crypto.com and Coinbase were one of the few exchanges that didn't have any exposure to Terra Luna besides what was on the exchange, right? So it was just like, so I mean, a lot of those exchanges had a lot of UST, which was a stable coin backed by Luna, and Crypto.com seemed to be if they were in trouble, they didn't let anyone know. So all right. And then right after that, Vivek Ramaswamy, his company Strive, raises $750 million to build a Bitcoin treasury, with plans to buy Mt. Gox Bitcoin claims and deploy alpha strategies to outperform Bitcoin. I don't know how you do alpha strategies to outperform Bitcoin unless they're saying they're going to take leverage against this Bitcoin. I'm not really sure.
That's the only way you can do it.
I know, and that's what Michael Saylor says. He's like, if you want to 10x, you just buy Bitcoin. If you want 100x, take leverage and buy Bitcoin. So
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how many entities do this. Look, when you're doing that, when you're leveraging like your stock shares or something like that to buy another asset. Yes, Bitcoin has been like in extreme growth, but it's just nerve-wracking a bit, right? But I guess there's this like system as of right now that is a little bulletproof. I wouldn't call it fully because there's always that chance. But if Bitcoin keep going up, then I think they're safe. They just gotta time their exits.
Yeah, I know, man. But like, what happens when, like, we were kind of talking before
Let's
this,
not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
Well, we'll talk about it in the bear market, right? So
There
I
you
mean,
go.
this is probably going to cause the bear market after a huge upward momentum swing. But the news kept just getting better this morning as we're going. So, but wait, there's more. Cantor Fitzgerald, a prominent Wall Street investment firm, has launched $2 billion Bitcoin-backed lending initiative, kicking off deals with FalconX and Maple Finance. Howard Lutnick, chairman and CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, Lutnick currently serves as the 41st United States Secretary of Commerce under President Trump administration. So, he's definitely a part of the administration, and he's running Cantor Fitzgerald, and now he has his lending and borrowing. And I remember he was on Anthony Pompliano's podcast about 3 years ago, and Pomp asked him, they said, are you buying Bitcoin? And he said, I don't have to buy Bitcoin because I'd lend people money against their Bitcoin, and then I take their Bitcoin. And he said that on Pomp's podcast, right? So he's not buying it. He's just taking yours when you get over leveraged. Pretty nuts.
I mean, yeah, it is pretty nuts. So I like that business model.
Not if you're borrowing, right? If you're
I guess it kind of is similar to like, depending on what the price is of Bitcoin when you take that loan, right? Because that's what his company has to dish out. So it is similar to just buying it, but I guess it's more of like, how many people are defaulting, right?
Yeah. And that's probably the best thing in the world, right? Defaulting and then taking someone's Bitcoin. Like, it's just like, we'll take loans against your Bitcoin all day. Not like I have to go send people out, knock on your door, and get you out the house, right? It's not like
true.
You know what I mean? You already gave me your Bitcoin. It's sitting there. I'm just going
Well, the benefit is like when Bitcoin was $40,000, right? And someone takes out a $5 million loan, and they get themselves in a situation to where they can't pay that back. Now Lutnick is sitting real nice because he got to keep all that Bitcoin at 40K, right?
Yeah.
That was valued at 5 million. And if you're looking at the price right now, that's probably like closer to 10 now. No, it's more than 10. At 40,000, it's like probably like 12.5 million in value or something like that.
Well, how the Bitcoin lending works though is, if you have, let's just say you have 0.5 Bitcoin right now, and that's worth about $52,000, you can take up to about 50% LTV, right?
Yeah.
So you can take 50% a loan to that, right? But if Bitcoin drops below that, you have two options. You can add more Bitcoin to that, right? They give you like 7 days or 8 days, or default and
Lose it.
they then lose it, right? So they gave you 25,000 for your $50,000. You know what I mean? And so they're just, and maybe it does drop to 30, they're still making out 5K on that deal, right?
Yeah.
So they're not getting the best deals, but they're still making money constantly. And it's a business model. You do have to pay interest when you're paying that back as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a really good business to be in for sure. Circle has filed for an IPO on the New York Stock Exchange. Circle's IPO targets 600 million raise at over a $5 billion valuation after dismissing Coinbase Ripple sales reports. So they dismissed Coinbase's and Ripple. Apparently, they wanted to give them over $10 billion for Circle, and Circle said, "No, we're going to go the IPO route and just if you want to buy it on the open market." But they're only giving about 30% into the IPO and raising about 600 million.
Meaning that they can't, no one can have pretty much full control over it because you don't have the 51% of the total stock share. So this is completely strategic on Circle's part and basically saying, hey, Ripple, Coinbase, we don't want either of you to have control over this. But if you want to help us by investing, then you can have equity in that way, right? In that way. So I mean, I don't know. I feel pretty good about this because I was a little bit worried if XRP was going to get that own circle, but they're going to probably start their own stable coin and try to build that up, or we'll see.
They could take the Warren Buffett approach, though. For instance, Warren Buffett goes in the market, he'll buy 10% of your company on the market, get a board seat, and then start making the changes that he wants to eventually have them dump more stock into the market where Warren just keeps buying up, so he owns 51%. That's the Warren Buffett move.
That could happen, but if you're only putting 30% into circulation, then you'll never get there.
Over time.
Yeah, over time. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Over time. That's true. Like you gotta, can't hold on to 70% of the stock shares, even if you try to give them to your, if you give them to your C-suite levels and all that stuff too. It's like, you have to put it, but so that would be over time, but that could take a while, right? And plus there's strategic things that the board members can do to block that too.
Yeah, there is, but once it's public, you can't really do a lot. You can come in and
I'm talking about like whales that publicly are saying, okay, let's make sure that this individual doesn't get this much.
But then that makes you so bullish on Circle's stock. Right? I might. I'm not a big stock guy, but I might put a little money in to Circle here, and then kind of just see what happens, because if they want a takeover, you're gonna make out really well, especially when rumor has it that they were trying to pay 20 billion for Circle, right? What's going to happen when you potentially, they're only valued at 5 billion. What happens when you want to do a takeover there? So we'll see. Next thing here is Binance launches live trading on Binance Square, letting users watch and interact creators real-time trading strategies. So we were talking to one of our friends, and they were saying, Binance has this like media thing now, and it's official. I guess it was in beta then, but now it's official, where people are streaming on Binance's app, and you can basically interact with it as a user of Binance, something that we probably need to start streaming to, honestly.
Well, is it only focused on like trading strategies? Because if it's only focused on that, then we would have to like create a separate segment focus and stuff like that. But
no, you can stream whatever. But obviously the ones who are doing the trading strategies are probably going to do better, because people are sitting there and they're wanting to trade and stuff. So well, yeah, man. Are you would you be interested in watching live trading while you're trading?
Maybe, right? I mean, if someone is proven to have a more successful strategies than not, then why not, right? Obviously, you have to start developing your own strategy, but you can always use learn more, I think.
Yeah. This is great for guys who, the Rand Nooner type of channel and stuff, where they're sitting there live trading and just doing it over there, because one-stop shop, right? You're already on the app, just swipe up. But this is a big deal because you are seeing, honestly, that it makes me feel like OnChain Revolution is in the right field right now, because streaming and trading and crypto seem to be hand in hand at this point,
growing,
and it's growing quick too. So it's definitely something that I'm very happy about seeing. And we've seen Abstract do it. Now we're seeing Pump.fun do it. We're seeing all these. They want to add streaming. Streaming is the biggest thing in the world, guys. Like, it is going to be the biggest. Entertainment is one of the few places where AI cannot come in and completely take over. Yes, they're probably going to take over like a good portion of it, but that human-to-human interaction, you're just going to know, right, if it's an AI or it's not. I don't care how good the AI gets. You just that personalization of what a human brings, other than just basic knowledge of an AI, could, I think, in my opinion, is next level.
Yeah, I would say at least for like the next 3 to 5 years. I think we still got that, but like, I ain't gonna lie. After 5 years, bro, like I think we're all gonna be like, looking for stuff to do. There is a good aspect to this, and this is off topic a little bit, but I think humans are gonna start touching grass more. They're gonna start like going on nature trips and stuff more in the next, like, after 5 years from now. But yeah, I do agree. The streaming industry is starting, is continually growing with hand in hand with the crypto industry. We see it with Rumble too. That was one of their big focuses. Parlor joining with Parlor Pay as well. Look, if you have any passion whatsoever to start maybe streaming, I would say right now is probably the best time to do it, and just stay consistent with it.
100%. Am I the only one who doesn't like touching grass? Like I hate going outside. Like if I gotta go outside, it's like to get in the car. Like I'm not a guy who's like I'm not going to no jungle. I'm not going to no forest. I'm not going to no park. Like I don't like getting hit by bugs like that. I'd like sitting in front of my computer. like what is wrong with that? I don't understand.
Well, nothing's wrong with it right now, but like whenever like less and less humans are gonna be able to be interacted with, then you might be like, I kind
Uh-oh. I think Yagobi froze. He's still there, buddy. Uh-oh. All by myself. Are you guys still there with me? Are you guys rocking with me still? Did Yagobi freeze on you guys? Let me know. All right. Let's pop him down until he comes back there. All right. Next thing in the media here is we're gonna get the banners back up. All right. So over 150K Ethereum validators signal support to raise block gas limit from 36 million to 60 million, boosting L1 transactions capacity without a hard fork. So basically, Ethereum is about to get a huge upgrade. Raising the gas limit lets more transactions fit in each block, increasing the throughput, but it also risks estate bloat, validator lag, and centralization if not managed carefully. So that's a big deal. So yeah, you're saying 150,000 Ethereum validators, and we know validators control the network. Think of validators like Bitcoin miners, right? Except, they're not giving hash power to the network. They're actually staking and risking their Ethereum in the validator to make these changes to kind of support the network. So they want to change it from 36 million to 60 million, which is going to allow gas fees to be a lot cheaper because the blocks are going to be harder to fill up. And this is going to be done without a hard fork, which I initially didn't think was possible, but it is possible. So Ethereum is about to get a massive upgrade. But I asked myself, why haven't they done this in the past? Ethereum devs avoided this in the past to reduce DDoS risk, and focus on scaling via layer 2. But growing validator support shows momentum towards safely boosting L1 performance without a full upgrade. So this is a big deal because it doesn't seem like the disadvantages are that bad. So now you have a huge network, right? And you have a lot of validators, a lot of ETH staked. It's not really that big of a deal now with these DDoS attacks. You're seeing Bitcoin now so big and large that it's just not like, it's not going to risk anything. There's no DDoS attack going to happen to Bitcoin. You're just going to give the miners more money. You can go into the mempool and you can just spam all you want. Nothing's going to happen. And I think Ethereum might be at that point now where, maybe before the validators or before, it was proof of stake, it was an issue. But now it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. I think Ethereum's about to get a lot cheaper in the future. I mean, it's already dead cheap right now, though, honestly. So, but moving along here. Sharplink Gaming raises $425 million to buy ETH for Treasury through a PIPE offering, selling approximately 69 million of shares at $6.15 per share. Sharplink Gaming is a U.S.-based company that provides technology and services for sports betting and iGaming platforms. Big deal because this seems to be one of the first big companies to actually come in and actually buy ETH for the Treasury. We're seeing all these companies today come in and actually buy Bitcoin for the Treasuries. You're seeing Vivek Ramaswamy, you're seeing Trump Media, but no one's doing it to the second largest crypto, which is Ethereum. And this is a big deal to me because it could be a big reason why Ethereum was up 3.7% today, and while Bitcoin's only up 0.19. So Ethereum's definitely getting a big boost today. It needs to happen, guys. We need to see Ethereum back at 4,000. We need to see Ethereum back at 5,000 just to kind of get back to where Bitcoin is, right? Because it is completely lagging Bitcoin by a ton. And that could actually signal alt season. Alt season is when Bitcoin kind of does its thing still. Not saying Bitcoin's not going to go up during this period, but alts are going to catch up and kind of have this ruthless catch up, in my opinion, to where every single day we're logging on and we're seeing 25% gains, 50% gains, even 100% gains some days. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, but we do need ETH to move first. So kind of waiting for Yagobi to hop back in here. Let's see. He might have actually lost internet, but all good. Let's kind of do a quick switch up real quick. We'll kind of jump into roll call and see if he gets back here. But comments. So first is first on this show. And if you don't know, every single day we take the first comment of the show and actually put it into a Google Doc. All right, let's see. First comment of the day was my man Lackey Lukey. Shout out to you, my friend. You are number one. Guys, can you put in chat? Is my audio good? Everything sounds good. I'm curious to see if it's anything happening on my end. Just let me know in the chat, please. But Lackey Lukey is here. Shout out to Lackey Lukey, number one. Let's kind of check it out. Let's throw it over to here. All right, you, my friend, are number one. Let's pop you in here. LA. Why isn't this working now? And of course, all right. All right, Lackey Lukey, and let's see what you have your 19th win of the year, my friend. Congratulations to you. Huge. It is a 3-man race right now. It is Lackey Lukey, Webdro, and Danny Boy. Danny Boy 23, Webdro with 20, and Lackey Lukey with 19. Congratulations to you guys, man. Absolutely awesome. All right, let's bring that back down here. All right, let's jump back into the banners. All right, Dog Rune, constantly in good sentiment of Cookie.fun. So let me jump to Cookie.fun right here. So bring up my screen one more time here. All right, so this is good sentiment, and I went and I looked up kind of what it means to be good sentiment. Good sentiment on Cookie.fun refers to positive social media and community engagement around a specific token or coin over a 7-day period. So over the last 7 days, you're seeing Dog go to the moon here, kind of be that coin that is just right here. I mean, you're seeing Bitcoin, you're seeing XRP. Oh, you're back. What's up, bud?
Yo, was that not ironic as fuck? Like as soon as I was like, whenever we lose people to connect with on the internet, and then I went. So yeah, I think something hit our electric grid or something like that. It reset.
It was the AI, bro. AI, bro, was like talking shit here. But I just got into the Sharplink thing, and I went already over that. So right now, I'm kind of on the I did the roll call as well. I'm kind of on the good sentiment here. We'll go into this real quickly, and then we'll move to the Bitcoin price action. But so look at this, dude. So you have Bitcoin, right? Obviously, number one. And so I went to look at what this means, good sentiment, and it means refers to a positive social media and community engagement around a specific token or coin over a 7-day period. The heat map ranks tokens by the number of good sentiment mentions, visually scaled by volume, bigger squares, and more positive chatter. So they're using AI to kind of get these numbers. You're seeing Bitcoin in number 1, you're seeing XRP in the number 2, Hype in 3, Tron in 4, Farcoin in 5, and Dog in 6, above Ethereum, above ADA, above Pengu. This is absolutely massive. Dude, this is absolutely insane. I'm so bullish on Runes and Dog right now.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, I'm actually kind of bullish on Cookie too. Like the Cookie's price action has been pretty good. I checked it on Friday, but yeah, that's huge. That's a huge statement for Dog and Runes. But we've known that like Leonidas has been able to accomplish like really strong social signals with Dog, right? And now he's reached this like certain level of to where you can't like nobody can ignore it anymore. And so oh wow, did we lose just stuff too?
Dude, I'm having some. It's funny because I'm having some issues as well. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
But
they're trying to cut us out. You can't get rid of us, AI. We're staying. We'll come claw back. Anyways. Yeah, so I think the sentiment is really amazing. A couple just notables that kind of stuck out there to me was Hype being number 3 was huge. And then also Zeus. Like, who's talking about Zeus? But like Zeus was a big deal. It's the Solana thing. The Solana protocol or whatever. So
I want to be honest here. Like we had a conversation with those guys, right? Just kind of find out what is like convo, just kind of figured out what Zeus is. And when we were kind of talking to them, I don't know about you, but I wasn't very bullish on it.
Because it's basically BTC-Fi. BTC-Fi for Solana side. You know what I mean? So it's basically saying, hey, you want to stake your Bitcoin and you can do via Solana's tech stack, we can do that, which I think it was probably smart because there's not much competition with that tech stack, and so they can be the one that absorbs a lot of the Bitcoin staking and restaking or whatever. And then the EVM side is super saturated now. You got all types of Babylon is the main staker that stakes a lot on the base layer, and then eventually gives all these other protocols opportunities to kind of cut that up and earn their interest as well. So I think what they're trying to do is be a little bit of like the Babylon of Solana.
Yeah, but they're basically Merlin without the chain, right? Merlin's doing the same exact thing, right?
The only difference is the tech stack, right? So it's just like if you want to do it for Solana, then you could do it over here. So because I don't think a lot of Solana people took their business necessarily over to that BTC-Fi that everybody got into, mostly the East, in 2024. And so I think that's what Zeus is trying to do. But I agree, it's not attractive to like the everyday, even if you're in the trenches or if you're dabbling in DeFi, it just doesn't seem attractive because there's only a certain group of people that do the BTC-Fi, but there's a lot of whales that do it, right? Regular retail people don't really like to do it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But let's jump into the where were we? The crypto fear and greed here. We haven't hit on that yet. Where are you? There you are. So, all right. So last week we were at a 68. Wow. Okay. So yesterday we're at a 69. Dude, I don't know. No hint. I don't even have a hint for you.
Hold on. Let me just try to take a stab in the dark. So yesterday we were at 69, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. So late last night. I would say we're at 65.
Yeah, right. You're right there. How do I hint this to you?
No, you can't. I mean, at this point, all you can say is a little better, medium better, or a lot better, and vice versa. On the other side, just do that, and I'm just gonna take a dart and throw it into the
What do I say? What do I say on this?
I'll say a little bit less, or a little bit less, a little bit worse. Because what I would do is try to get the sentiment and base it off of where the price was yesterday in the evening. You know what I mean? So I think that's enough hint that I think you can give me. Because at this point, it's like you're like 1 point down. You know what I mean? Like what?
And that's the thing. If I would have said, we're right near this number, you'd be like, all right, we're like 66, right, or something like that. So, but yeah, great guess on that one. And how do you feel about this number? We're sideways at this point, right? With price action, with everything, especially in the last 7 days.
Yeah. So it's interesting because whenever there's a pull up that's pretty strong with Bitcoin, we've seen how it reacts. Let's say that that week there's a strong pull up, then kind of to end that week there'll be a little bit of retracement, but not much. Or maybe it's the next week there'll be some retracement, and I'm trying to gauge what that kind of bottom retracement is. I remember I wasn't really tracking when we went from the first jump up, when we went from the 80s to 90 and then crossed 100. That was about 3 weeks ago, right? Maybe a month ago. I think I was in Hawaii during that time. And so, but this last, the one before this last run up, we went from the mid 90s to 107. And when we pulled back, we got as low as 102. So I was okay, $5,000 pullback. This time when we ran up, we went to 111 and we pulled back the low area. We pulled back
105, 106.
Oh, 106. It was 106.8. And it's hit that twice. So I almost kind of feel like the 106.8 is similar to the 102 from before.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Obviously, there's no exact science to this, right? But I'm just trying to figure out where is our kind of local pullback bottom, right? And so right now we're sitting right below 110, and I think yesterday and today. Yesterday was it was a holiday, so all the price action was happening from retail people, or maybe some people got into it on their day off or whatever. But today, I 100,000% felt like they wanted to pull back from yesterday, because yesterday, I think during the show, I think that's when we went to like 110.5, almost to 111, and it was a holiday. So then, like today, I think when the bell rang, they wanted to pull it back, maybe even give us a deeper cut than we got today. But that Trump news kind of came out right literally 20 minutes before the bell, right? So it shot it up to 110.5 again. And I think they were just like, this was our plan. We're gonna like bring it back, and that's and I'm sure a lot of stop losses got hit because whenever the Trump news came out, plus Ethereum had some good news today. It was just like a bullish news day, and so it's like everybody that has that greediness in terms of trading probably started taking positions. You know what I mean? And so bringing it back to 108, was it 108.4 is where that wick came down. 108.6, sorry. That was a strong pullback, but I'm sure there's some people got liquidated, some stop losses got hit, all those kind of things. So right now we're just kind of, but I do expect, because now it's the storm has calmed down, I expect us to kind of range a little bit, maybe with some, ranging back up and possibly get to a new all-time high this week.
Yeah, well, I love that. I love you're bullish. That's saying a lot for you, man. That being that openly bullish. Yeah, when the camera's on, you're not really that bullish. You are when the camera's off, though. But it's nice to see it actually happening on the camera for sure. But let's kind of jump into the Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by Artura.finance. Artura, they're doing some pretty amazing things. They're about to be a leverage trading platform on Bitcoin L2. The L2 of choice. There's two of them. The first one is Hemi. Hemi is backed by Binance. Binance is going to be heavily involved in Hemi, in my opinion. They want to make sure their investment is good, which basically means when you are farming Artura.finance, you're potentially farming the Hemi token as well. Highly recommend you guys do that. And then maybe switch over to Botonics when that drops a few weeks after, and you will be able to potentially get an incentivized reward as well there. So definitely want to check out Artura.finance when the time comes. Mainnet is coming. It's around the corner. They already announced the ARA token, so they will be doing an airdrop of that. We think it's normally what happens. So definitely check out Artura.finance for everything you need to know.
Yep, guys. And then before we get into the Bitcoin price action, if you could hit that like for us on the YouTube side, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on. On the X side, share the space, guys. We want to educate, onboard as many people to our space as possible. Same thing with the Abstract side. If you could share that stream, and make sure you follow us on Abstract too. We've been growing in followers, and we appreciate that support. All right, let's get into some Bitcoin price action here, starting with the hour chart. There we go. Okay, perfect. Awesome. All right, so it looks like we have a little bit of a bull flag starting to form here, right? You can see like kind of went up here. The pole is formed there with a little bit of a drawback, which is typically what happens. Let's see if we can continue this on, right? That'd be amazing. And you can see some reversal a little bit happening on the MACD as well. You can see that it was starting to get weakened, and then now we're starting to have that darker green candle here, and the MACD leading indicating line right here is starting to tip up a little bit. So that bull flag could be starting to play out here, right? And on the hour chart, it's going to take some time to see that, but it definitely started to form. So we'll see if it plays out. And then on the stochastics as well, you can see we've been in overbought territory since about 3 a.m. today. So not too long. I think we could hang out up here for a bit. You can see we hung out down here for a while, right? So I think we're looking pretty good. If we take a look at the VRVP in terms of actual transactions here, that, this is an estimate, right? But if you look, this is data going back to Monday, 4 a.m. Let's squeeze that in, see what the local sentiment has been. So this is going to be from 2 a.m. today. From 2 a.m. today, the price point that we are at right now, which is 1099. So we are working our way up, right? Hopefully we do form that bull flag into another pole here. But yeah, you can see that the support is a bit stronger. We have a 61 to 45, 71 to 62. It gets about even right here. Then it jumps up aggressively at 110, 250, right? So that's pretty lopsided. So if we can make it up there, maybe we get pushed up. That's where I think the resistance really, dominated in this price range right here, which is 110,300 to about 110, I would say almost 500, right? So that price gap right here, we do need to flip these two areas right here. But if we can make it up here, then that would be good. At least we can kind of hover over here for a bit until we get you know, a little bit over power the resistance here. So I think the hour chart looks pretty good, guys. I think that we do range a little bit, though. You know, they do want the sentiment to calm a little bit, I think, you know, but we are back above 110. That's a good sign. Let's see if we kind of range between, you know, high 1095 to 110.5 and see if we can break through into some of these price ranges here, and then maybe these we'll flip this range right here, and then we can so, you know, march on to that 111. That would be great. So that's what I'm seeing here on the hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, 4-hour chart was looking kind of not so great. You can see we were losing momentum here on the MACD, but we have started to build that back up. So that's a good sign. We do need to, you know, get a little bit more confirmation than this, right? We need this to kind of get a little bit, you know, bigger, stronger momentum on the MACD there. Also, it does look like there's a little bit of reversal on the stochastics. Maybe we go back above and start hang out here for a bit, get this, you know, stochastics, the points up to about, you know, 90 and up is pretty aggressive, right? Whenever we're up here. So hopefully that could happen, and then it will kind of give us confirmation and give me confirmation for the next couple of days leading into the middle of the week. So I think 4-hour chart looks really good. Let's take a look at the weekly. Looks really good. We've been talking about the weekly for a while. We haven't ended the week on a red candle, and it's kind of like whenever you're playing roulette, right? You see black hit like 10 times in a row, and you start to get a little bit nervous because you know that eventually red's going to come. So we'll see. Maybe we have a strong green candle before a red one actually does form, but it won't worry me if once we do, because we are going to get a red candle. It'll just be, you know, probably, you know, what would be great for me, in my opinion, would be to get to that kind of 120 to 130 range and then give us that great red candle. You know what I mean? Because we all kind of expect a pullback at that point. So the weekly looks really good, guys. I mean, everything here looks good. You know, it's green candle after green candle after green candle. This is starting to open up, though, which means that, you know, we could range a little sideways and then further up, and then you know, start to go a little choppy, which will tighten the Bollinger Band, right? But yeah, so the weekly for Bitcoin looks great. Let's take a look at the others. This is the one that I've been trying to really get a feel for, because I feel like the others is going to give us, you know, some indication of when alt season probably, you know, when we feel like we're already in alt season. This will, in my opinion, will be like pretty aggressive, right? Because this is everything besides Bitcoin in the top 10. So Ethereum's not in here, Solana's not in here, all the top 10. But you know, some of the tokens outside the top 10 and beyond have really strong market caps and are formidable in terms of the ones that have been there for a while. But for us to really see this start to speed race, I think that's whenever we'll be like, okay, alt season is here. Because at that point, Ethereum will probably have crossed 3K and started to 3.5, right? And that kind of journey. Probably further than that even. But yeah, so I think we're looking okay, though, on the others as well. We do... I think we do need to get back above the 50-day EMA. I keep talking about that, but we look fine here on these leading indicators as well. And the last thing I always like to get into is the crypto bubbles. Crypto bubbles look pretty good on the day. You know, I would say we're about probably like 80% in the green here, maybe if not more, maybe 85%, around 80. But like, yeah, there's a couple that are red. The ZBCN, sorry, who's a Courtney, sorry, CB. Like, I was like, what is ZBCN? I see it, but you know, hopefully this jumps back up. Yeah. This is actually 100 through 200 though. So let's go back to the top ones here. Yeah, it's about the same ratio, right? Maybe a little bit less. So maybe more 75, and then is it? No, it's not. It's all over.
No, I mean, all the way to the left. Yeah,
that's not good.
It's all over, guys. Tomorrow.
Quant is up 16.7%. Oh, that's ISO 222 tokens. Are they all starting to, you know, jump up here? Hype is down 1.5%.
Have like one of the best logos that I've ever seen.
You like it?
That's dope. It looks like a full circle. It looks cool. Like,
and then you got Monero down 7.3%. I wonder if there's anything about privacy that was in the headlines. XDC is down 1.9%. So I guess
Yeah.
it's not the ISO 222 connection there that is bringing quant up. But yeah, so I mean, Hex down 1.4, so nothing to really worry about. You know, some of these runners that have been pretty strong. Virtual's up still, you know, about 10%. Pancake Swap up 11.5%. This is a good sign. Ethereum up 3.8%. We need this to continually go up, and once that triggers, man, that's when I think it's game on.
Yeah, man, couldn't agree more. Let's kind of jump into the next thing here, which is the roll call. I realized that when I did roll call, when you were missing, I only named Lackey Lukey and then put his name on the chart. But shout out to Lackey Lukey, man. I got messed up. I was just like scrambling there for a second. But shout out to Lackey Lukey. Mats is here. Danny Boy is here. Webdro is here. Malam Yuri is here. Shout out to Mr. Hanky every single day. Appreciate you, my friend. Webdro is here, followed by PJNZ, Peanut Butter Jelly Time himself. Danny Boy says, only a little lackey, and we in the bull. See y'all in Vegas. Danny Boy, yo, meet up with Danny Boy if you guys are in Vegas, man. And we have Mempool Punk is here, Bitmap Capital, Chips and Dip, Vader Time, K99, Spindrift is here, Abstract, Neo Meester says, Rune June, LOL. And then Nighthawk says, GM, I literally am outside where Inscribing Vegas will be taking place. Greetings from Sin City.
Nice.
Yeah, you're 7:30 in the morning. Do people walk around at 7:30 in the morning in Vegas?
Yeah, dude. Vegas is like the strip
7:30 in the morning.
It doesn't close. Nothing closes. I mean, some of the retail stores close, but you know, you can always get a drink. You can always gamble somewhere, and the strip is always busy.
I'm curious though, 7:30 in the morning, what it's like though. Like I can't imagine it. If you're still partying for the night before.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is I'm usually not up at 7:30 in the morning when I'm in Vegas.
That's what I'm saying.
Or something.
Like, yeah. Shut the Glass Hopper. He says Clan Wars today. Yes, Clan Wars today. We will be live at 3 p.m. Eastern time today, hanging with our friends over at Jungle, formerly Foxy. So tune in for that. That'll be later today. It's gonna be fun, guys. Hop on, game with us. It's always fun. Kevin B. Williams is here. He says we go 100%. Chief Axel is here. Patty Pooh, the Bitcoin machine himself. Drex says GM, Shizzy and Yago back to regularly tuning in to OnChain Revolution. It's time to bring back the end of 2023, early 2024.
Let's go.
Yes, dude. But dude, it's been a year. It's been over a year of bear. I mean, like it
has
November, December. That's it. The Trump pump. Like that was it.
Yeah, sure.
But and then Malam, you're finishing off, so you're missing out on the sunlight. Am I though? I don't know. I don't enjoy the sun.
well, you gotta have it to survive though. Vitamin D. If you low on vitamin D, that's not good.
I mean, I'll just drink milk. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
drinking gallons of milk.
I'm just not. I don't enjoy the sun whatsoever. But all right. Let me know what you think of this right here. So a Trump meme coin holder who bought around 300K worth of tokens to attend Trump's crypto dinner called the food trash and the speech bullshit, saying even McDonald's would have been better. Let me show this meal and let me get your opinion on it. What do you think about paying $300,000 for this? What even is it? There's some carrots, right? And then you have
was that steak?
Is that steak?
It looks like Salisbury. No, dude, I think that's a sirloin. That's got to be a sirloin.
Sure? Why is there gravy on it?
No, I think I want to say that's got to be some of the blood. You know?
No, that's gravy, bro.
It does look like
this
gravy,
looks like my elementary school dinner or school.
What if that's a scallop on the right? If that's a scallop on the right, then that steak is tiny,
dude. That's
not a scallop. That's got to be a fish.
Bad. And then this is his dessert. Dessert doesn't look bad. What is that, like a chocolate cake?
Dessert looks bad. The other one doesn't look that bad if it is a regular steak. If it's a regular steak,
you can get this for like $40 at Longhorn. Like this is horrible.
I mean, I don't know. Like, are you there to eat good food though? I'm not.
I mean, he said the speech sucked too.
Who was the speech by? Trump. What do they expect, man? The guy's not going to be diving into like DeFi and like, I'm so excited about the jam protocol that's going to be released with Polkadot. Like he does, his things are like, his speech was probably like, the United
Yeah.
States is going to be huge with crypto and Bitcoin. We're excited, you know. So let's build this thing together. Blah 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 blah. Peace. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
That's a crazy statement right there. I don't know what you mean by that.
Justin
but-
Sun would do anything. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. We are we like Justin Sun on this channel. No. All right, let's get to the next thing here. All right. So our good friends over at Nubit, but they are out. I just want to, like, if you guys are out there, go visit their thing here. That's our guy Norbert from Nubit, and that's the man himself, Trackcore. So shout out to those guys, man. Go visit them.
What's his name again? As Hashi? No,
Hansi.
Yeah, Hansi. They look like they're
Hansi
gonna cook something, bro.
They do. They look like they're about to chef up some.
Oh, maybe that's the thing. Is like, you know, they're chefs because they're cooking. That's why.
Yeah, they're
okay,
cooking.
I get it.
They're cooking. But if you guys go meet our guys over there, just one shout out the guys over at Norbert.
Awesome guys.
Yeah, not Norbert. Norbert.
Is that what is that? Did you get that mixed up in your brain? Is that what you put Norbert
I did.
there? Okay.
Norbert is now the company, and Nubit is the guy's
his name.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just playing. That's our guys, man. Definitely hang out with those guys there. I'm kind of jealous, man. That'll be probably a good time. It does look pretty cool there. Looks different than you know, what's it? Nashville. So yeah, man. All right. Let's go to Magic Eden. Let's take a look at some of the runes there, because runes are cooking right now. I went through the topics a little too quick earlier, so I ran out of stuff here. So if there's anything you guys want us to take a look at, throw it in the chat. We're gonna be let's jump on the comments here, see what you guys are up to. But let's kind of show my screen here. All right, let's go to trade runes. All right, so in volume you have obviously Dog number 1, Pups number 2, Gizmo number 3, and Billy number 4. Gizmo has actually flipped Billy.
Volume.
What do you think about that in volume? Not by much, only by like 2K.
These volumes are weak, but it's because
dude.
it's because of the purchasing of it. Like, you know, so actually, so I look at this as still like such a big opportunity for new people that are trying to get into Dog. Like, if once Dog's on Kraken and once it's like so easy to purchase, like this, it's gonna shoot up, in my opinion, not financial advice. And once the Rune infrastructure, like the Rune, I should say token standard is like easy to buy on Arch Network or these other networks, there's that home base established. I think that's whenever, like, we're not going to have $476,000 of volume anymore on the main platform, right? We're going to have like millions of dollars in volume. I mean, you see it on Solana, right? And you see it on Base and stuff like that. We're going to see that, but right now, while it's like this, I think this is why the market caps are like this. Eventually, it will change.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. $25,000. If you wanted to sell $25,000 of something, you're gonna have a hard time, dude. Like, this is the problem. The only real problem with runes right now is liquidity. You know, having liquidity, you know, on these exchanges and stuff like that is a big deal, and that's when we're going to see more volume, and that volume will eventually come on chain, right? So I think that's the biggest deal. But you're saying $500,000 in Dog value. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Like,
for Magic Eden, but like if I go to watch this, so I'm gonna go and look up Dog real quick. If you go to Coin Market Cap and you look it up and you look at the volume is it's like ×4 of
really.
Yeah, so hold on. If I go to Dog Bitcoin, right, and then I look at here, let me share my screen so I can move you and add this here. Okay, so the total volume, 24-hour volume, is $27 million for Dog. Okay, so if you look here, you can see the 24-hour volume. Gate.io leads the way at 11.6 million. Then you have Mexi at 5 million. And like Magic Eden's at like right
$500,000,
like right above Hotcoin. So they didn't put Magic Eden on here because it's the way that runes works. They're just not gonna, plus they can't track it, right? So this is the problem. So, Magic Eden with their slingshot integration or whatever, that has to change their volume. They're hands down are going to lose the on-chain runes volume war. Easy. Like, it's easy to beat them if someone comes in with like a solution that's like fast and easy and stuff, right? I mean, 476,000, they would rank, like I said, right above this hot coin or whatever it is, right? So, they're going to have to do something different. And Hyperliquid's been able to really put together a really good model for, even their spot tokens and obviously perps and stuff for on-chain. And I think Magic Eden's got to figure that out, or they're going to lose the runes battle. They're going to lose it. Someone else is going to take that from them, whether it's Saturn, Sats Terminal is obviously going to, in my opinion, going to do the most volume accumulative in terms of on-chain, but that's because they're aggregator, right? I'm talking about just the single DEX or single, volume stuff, and Magic Eden just isn't. They haven't created a solution yet.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, so I've been following Gizmo on MEXC. And Gizmo this morning was outshining, like on MEXC was outshining any other Gizmo pair, any other exchange. Gizmo was somebody was super bullish on Gizmo this morning on MEXC because this thing went from 0.0. I mean, this is what this morning. Yeah, it was down at like 5.6, and then just shot up to like almost a penny. And right now it's about 0.00877. So this morning I was like, what is going on? This was up like 30%, but still up 20% on the day on MEXC. But then you go to something like Magic Eden, right? And it's only showing Gizmo up 10%. So there's definitely a delay there, which is definitely some arbitrage. I might have to throw some Gizmo on MEXC and then trade the arbitrage there because that seems to be free money.
Yeah, very true. Not enough people take advantage of that. And I think that's probably what has held dog down for so long before, was that so many people were arbitraging it. But there's gonna be a point where the demand is just so strong, it just gets to $1 billion market cap, gets to 1.5, 2, all that good stuff.
Yeah, KaiFX says I've been holding Tron since 2020. Wow. I'm curious how much you're up, dude. You got to be up a lot, right? Or maybe not. Has Tron hit its all-time high yet? That's a good question.
I'm not sure, but I think it's done pretty well. The past this year, or this past year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, man. That kind of leads us. Let's just jump over to DeFi Llama. Let's kind of check out that, because that's kind of leads us right into that, because we haven't really looked at DeFi in a while. So let's kind of jump down here, and it looks like Tron is number 3 behind Ethereum and
TVL, dude.
Yeah, I mean, let's jump to. So right now there's $119 billion in total TVL and all of DeFi, but when we go to Tron's probably has about
20?
like 9 or 10.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on today. Nothing is working. Okay, here we go. 6.7. So it definitely dropped. I mean, this thing got up to about 15 billion earlier this year, and now it's back down here. So Tron is good, but everyone always says though it's Justin Sun's money, like Justin lend, lend.
Even if it is his money, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, put it all in DeFi. All right, let's move along here. So let's check out Ethereum, how Ethereum's doing. Ethereum has $64 billion in TVL. And this is something we've been saying. Stablecoins are going to 10x TVL, right? Do you agree with that? Do you agree that when we get stablecoin legislation, and in about 3 to 6 months, I truly believe we're going to have potentially $600 billion just on Ethereum alone?
$600 billion? Jeez, that's so much money. But I mean, how the entities that are coming into stable coins, they have so much capital and liquidity, and most of them are probably going to use EVM tech stack, so I imagine that's probably going to go to this total amount.
I
wouldn't be shocked if it jumps up like 3x. I don't know about the other, because I think it's gonna, like, after maybe 3 years or something, maybe something like that, because the institutions would have already known what they feel comfortable with, what's the go-to procedure, what's the best chain to have these type of products on, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Lido is going to be $100 billion in TVL alone, just for the fact that, you know, what Lido does is they basically stake your ETH for you. They stake it in the validator system, and they get a 6% APY for that, and then they give you 4% on ST Lido, right? So that is their whole business model. But you're going to see a lot of people want to hold the staked version of Lido probably in the future and for Ethereum. So
Yep. Eigenlayer was on there. Remember whenever they got like everybody was like so upset about like because you couldn't claim if you weren't in the US or something like that for their airdrop, but they have a lot of TVL there. That's crazy.
11.75 billion TVL.
Yeah.
A lot. So they're number 3. Pretty nuts. But all right, let's kind of dig into our next segment here. We weren't able to have Jeff yesterday, but we were lucky enough to have him today for a little bit of a Merlin segment.
Tuesday.
And Merlin Tuesday. I was gonna say Tuesday, but it didn't sound right. So Merlin segment today. So Merlin's been in the news a lot, especially last week. If you guys don't know, if you're living under a rock, they joined the Binance Alpha program. And we're gonna kind of find out exactly what that is. But it looked like, you know, the Binance Alpha players in that ecosystem got an airdrop of Merl. They dumped it, but then it got bought back so hard. It was insane to see, dropping down to 8 cents, then bouncing all the way up to about 15 cents in a matter of 24 hours. Absolutely insane to see. Really, really cool for Merlin. But you know what comes with that, right? There's a lot that could potentially come from that. And then kind of they've had bigger news over the course of the last week as well. So without further ado, let's bring up Jeff. Jeff, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thank you so much, sir.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up? Are you energized? Have you got your energy back from traveling? I know you've been traveling a lot.
Yeah. I just landed like a few hours ago, and yeah, always good to be back at Singapore.
Awesome. So, what's been going on? You know, we know that like the prices, Bitcoin and some of these the broader crypto space, we're seeing some tokens and some projects and protocols have some strength showing up. Is this like the very beginning starts of like possibly alt season kicking off? And do you feel confident in this run up?
Yeah, I think right now it's like a tricky moment because we are about like the same price of Bitcoin last time all time high. So people are wondering if that's like like sometimes has like one time high and then second time high, but it goes down all the way from there, or this is just like the beginning of the bull run all of us are expecting. So personally, I think right now is a tricky moment. I've seen many traders that I personally believe they are actually moving their assets into Bitcoin from stables. So I think that's a good sign, because if you track those people's record, it's pretty steady for the past few years. So yeah, and for altcoin season, I don't know because there are so many projects in this cycle. You can see new listings every day. So I don't think the altcoin season will be for all tokens, including Merlin. I don't think it will be a huge carnival for all of us, but definitely we will see some players like in the past 6 months we have seen Solana memes, we have seen like virtuals, all these AI narratives coming up. We have seen Sui going up, and also they had a incidents lately. But yeah, so I think the problem should be what is the main like tokens, altcoins or tokens or narratives are going to be popular in the next half year. Yeah.
Well, so that's a good point that you made. There are so many new projects, and this is truly the second true cycle where DeFi even exists, right? So we're gonna find out very quickly. I think who like does 70% of the projects come on board with this run up or whatever. But let's just talk about Ethereum. Are you confident that Ethereum will surpass its previous all-time high? And like, are you still in that camp of the people that said it could get to 10,000 this cycle, or are you just still kind of unknown about it?
Yeah, I don't know about Ethereum, but I'm pretty bullish about some tokens will be I mean, Dogecoin, if you look at the market cap, I think, it's pretty close or, to their all-time high. And like I've seen the chat here, I think Tron reaches all-time high like a month ago. So Ethereum, I think the problem is people don't see, what is like the next big thing for them. Like last time we're thinking about, all these layer 2s, even layer 3s. We're talking about layer 3s. We're talking about the decentralized ID. We're talking about, ZK rollups. But right now, if you name, 3 big things could happen to Ethereum, in the next 12 months, I honestly cannot list, 3.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Like they're just being quiet or they don't have any new ideas or something. So they could kind of just get put in this Litecoin and kind of the legacy category to where every year they just pump. You know what I mean? Eventually,
Too much DeFi going on.
There's a lot of TVL there.
There's so much TVL, and you got to remember with the Pector upgrade really, in my opinion, sets them apart now as the #1 layer 0 because it's really going to be powering a lot of these layer 2s. And you got to remember, if you got Base, you have potentially Abstract and Sony. All these chains are using Ethereum as their gas token. Right. So I think that's another big deal catalyst that no one's really talking about. On top of, the news that just came out today about them doubling their blocks from I think it said from 130 to 160. So I don't know. I'm personally really bullish on Ethereum.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Because I personally want Ethereum to be all-time high because Ethereum is something that builders like they represent builders who actually do stuff. If you look at other chains, you don't see those builders. People just don't want to create crazy idea doing whatever live stream on Pump Fund. I mean that's cool, but we need some builders, and I think 2021 was so good because we have so many legit builders with somehow ideas which cannot be accomplished, but still good ideas like matter. And I think one thing Shizzy said is kind of something people are criticizing about Ethereum, actually, because all these chains are using Ethereum as gas token, but these chains are dumping those tokens because So if you talk about revenue of base chain, if you talk about revenue about Avalanche, sorry, not Avalanche, about
Abstract.
About all these other chains and Arbitrum, OP stacks. If you talk about all these layer 2s, they are generating revenues with Ethereum, but they sell Ethereum to gain their revenue, and they're not helping Ethereum. So.
Well, they are locking up as TVL. ETH is the #1 TVL token on Abstract, on Base, and on the other one I can't remember. But yeah, but they are staking it.
But I think what he's talking about is like the yield that they generate. Yeah. It's automatic dumps. You know what I mean? So it's like so you would have to have like a strong retail demand or some type of demand to overpower the yield dump that's happening. And the thing about Ethereum is that like their supply is never ending. But I ask about Ethereum because a lot of people are looking to Ethereum to trigger the alt season. That's why I even asked about it. But let's circle back to Merlin. A lot of big things are happening with Merlin. Shizzy named a few right before bringing you on. But what would you say is some new stuff that maybe the audience hasn't heard about? You're showing the Artura.
Oh no,
I think you have the wrong thing on there. There you go. But what are some news maybe you have? I'm not sure if you have anything, or maybe we could go over because I saw that juicy 45% APR if you lock up some more for 6 months, right? Could you get into that a little bit?
Yeah. So first, I think the Binance Alpha was one of the big things happened last week, and we did like a huge airdrops on BNB chain. And we seen crazy volume bridging back and forth, between BNB chain and Merlin chain. I don't know the exact number, but it's like definitely over, 20 million tokens, bridging and bridge out between chains. I'm looking at the volume right now. The Binance Alpha trading volume in past 24 hours. Merlin is at #2. $415 million trading volume. In the past 24 hours. The third is 270. The fourth is 230. So 400 plus million trading volume is pretty good.
24 hours?
Yeah, 24 hours.
That's a crazy number.
Yeah, if you go to CMC, I think that's even higher because the Binance Alpha, they only calculate certain LP. I think on CMC right now it's about 422. Yeah, $422 million in in the past 24 hours. So yeah, I think that's great. And there's some data that very few or even like none of others have mentioned. But I saw the numbers on chain. Is you can see lots of tokens are in one address on BME chain. That address is the Binance Alpha address, which means the users, the amount of users get the airdrop but didn't sell, or the amount of tokens they buy, because all these tokens they buy, they store in the one wallet that controlled by Binance. So we've seen lots of airdrops happen on BME chain before. Many tokens just got dumped, like in a second. But I think the good thing is we get new users. So I think the airdrop was, aiming to get more users and more trading volume. So I think first we definitely get more users. We have lots of voices on social media in different groups, and also we definitely get more trading volume because on central exchange it's not even that high. So I think
I'm seeing 670 million on CoinMarketCap for the past 24 hours, which is crazy. So PancakeSwap obviously absorbed majority of that at 422, but that's crazy. That's definitely a successful campaign that you guys ran there. So what is that whole program? What does it mean though for let's say there's Merlin holders that are listening in right now? Does it mean that you guys are looked at right now as obviously ranked number 2 in that kind of campaign? Is this kind of being in Binance's eyesight now, or is it more of just community building this way?
Yeah, I think first is to get more users and attention. So this is important because there are always some people doubting, is this project still alive? Every time I post a tweet, there are some people saying, oh, is Merlin still alive? I said, yeah. But so first I think for attention, for marketing, that's the first thing. Second is to getting bigger LP and trading volume on BME chain is very important, not only on Binance Alpha, but also for other exchanges. I cannot share which one, but there's a very big exchange. They're trying to adopt Merlin, trying to list Merlin, but they don't have the resources to integrate with Merlin chain network, because all these exchanges, they don't have many networks. They only have Ethereum, like Arbitrum, Solana, some networks. So they don't have the resources to integrate Merlin network. But now they see this trading volume on BME chain. So they just told us, they are happy to integrate Merlin token with BNB standard. So, this sets up, the in the future, if other exchanges trying to list Merlin, then they can just easily use BNB standard, because most exchanges have BNB chain standard. The third thing is, I think we're trying to do more campaign and marketing with Binance. So first, because Binance is the biggest central exchange at this moment, so you have to work with them, and being in their eyesight is important, so they can see your community is still active, because they to be honest, I talked to them a couple times before. They really don't know what's going on in the ruins. They really don't. People from our point of view, we think they should have noticed ruins, but actually they just don't, because that's how big companies work. They don't have people looking at every ecosystem. So I think being being in their eyesight is definitely good. Doing stuff with them is if we can get more users and volume, and that's good for us too. But I don't know. I cannot say for the future, but definitely we're going to hear some good news. In the next few weeks or month.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Man. Could you just kind of maybe explain what Binance Alpha is? Because I honestly don't know. The tweet from the Binance official account was awesome. It says, we're pleased to announce Merlin chain has been featured on Binance Alpha. Eligible Binance users with at least 193 Alpha points can claim an airdrop of 1,000 Merl tokens in the Alpha event page starting on May 20th. Please note, Merle airdrop will consume 15 Binance Alpha points. So what is this program? And I've never really heard of it.
Yeah, I'm happy to explain this because this is huge in Asia. But it seems like Westerns don't really know about this. So first, why do people want to get listed by Binance?
Because they're the biggest centralized exchange, right?
Well, it opens you up to a whole bunch of money. There's a whole bunch of money in stable coins. There's a whole bunch of trading volume. It's the #1 exchange in the world. It's where the most tokens are traded.
Yeah, because the liquidity, right? The biggest, Coinbase is like biggest on the stock market. But if you see new tokens listed on Coinbase, it doesn't mean their price is going to pump, because as traders, we want price to be pumped, right? So they have like huge liquidity in buying powers, and that's why I just want to share you like the home screen. Is that okay, right? We don't need to share screen, right? So this is like the screen of Binance app. You have Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of that, right? So you want to be listed there because the users can see you, can buy your token, right? And the alpha. So this is like the token. The next thing besides that is alpha. You can see
wow!
Second. So
second
like,
tab.
Yeah, it's Binance Alpha, and you can see Merlin is right there, right?
Yeah,
you can see per one. If you click Merlin, you click buy. You can use your money in centralized exchange to buy Merlin, even though it's not officially listed. But for example, you're using any central exchange, you have stable coins in your wallet, right? You can use that token to buy, but they are doing that's why I say they have one wallet. They're using they're actually borrowing. They're lending their on-chain stablecoin to buy on-chain Merl by deducting your stablecoin in central exchange. So in the whole process, you don't feel anything on-chain. You input 1,000. Like right now, if I just put, okay, I'll buy some more. Okay, right now if I
live purchase.
Yeah, if I just input $100, right?
Yeah.
It tells me how many more I can buy, and I click trade, and it's done.
Okay. So your Binance wallet is connected to your Binance centralized exchange account as well, right?
There's no Binance wallet here. You don't feel Binance wallet, just your centralized account.
Oh, so you can use I see what they're doing. So you just have your centralized account. You can fund that with your debit card or whatever credit card. Then from there, if you want to buy Merl, what they do is they will take out your USDT from your centralized account, go on chain, buy the Merl, and hold it there for you while you're just deciding what you want to do with the Merl later.
Yeah. And this happens like 1 second, because BNB chain, like they're faster transaction, whatever, and they're doing like custodial for your stablecoin or your.
Gotcha.
That's why PancakeSwap's doing so much volume, because they're using PancakeSwap to do these potential trades.
Yeah. So these 400 mil tokens, I'm gonna say, are not from PancakeSwap. Like when you use the UI UX, you're actually buying from the Binance exchange apps. But behind that is what they're doing with the
in the back end,
people, routing, like all that, stuff. But you're just buying from your Binance app. So I think this is genius for Binance to do that, because they integrate the on-chain tokens.
Let me ask you a question though. I've been wondering this for a while. Do you think Binance got a little fire under their butt after Hyperliquid started to kind of build volume on chain, and they were like, well, why don't we just compete in centralized exchange and on chain this way? Do you think that was because it's not just Binance? I think that like Coinbase is actually thinking about doing something similar to this now too. Do you think Hyperliquid was kind of the fire that was lit under them?
I'm not kissing their ass. I'm trying to be honest here.
Yeah.
But this is on fire. This is huge in Asia because they are actually competing with 3 different parties. So first is those tier 2 exchanges. Because when you have a project, for sure you cannot get listed on Binance and OKX. You are going to for example, Bybit, or you're going to MEXC, or you're going to do like Gate, right? You're doing some airdrops there. But right now, if you check history, like in the past month on other tier 2 exchanges, there are very, 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 very few airdrops or new listings, because everyone is doing airdrops on Binance Alpha. If you check Binance account, they do like 5 airdrops per week. So they're killing every tier 2 exchanges. That's the first thing. Second, if you check their trading volume, BNB chain, the trading volume has taken about 93% of the whole trading volume, in all chains, like Solana, Sway, like, base chains, they're taking over 90%. They're having 6 billion trading volume in one day. I think, like one day last week. So they're also trying to compete with all the other chains. The third is what you say, like with Hyperliquid, this kind of new hybrid, mechanism with on-chain, off-chain, mechanism with spot and perps. So I think Binance Alpha is like the biggest move that Binance has made in this cycle. It's very, very important. That's why every project right now is working with them. All these projects you heard of, you never heard of, they're working with them. And I think that's very, very genius.
Yeah. So it's kind of like also it's kind of like your tryout, not to get listed on the centralized exchange. That's not necessarily what I'm saying, but possibly that could be part of it. But like if you're in the Binance Alpha program, you definitely want to. That's your opportunity to shine, right?
Yeah.
Because of so that's why I think like Merlin did a great job with that. But
yeah, and
awesome.
with the points, I think when like Shiza was asking like the tweet. So the points is if you have the account, and the points is when you trade any Binance Alpha token, you get a point. That's why people are crazily trading these tokens. Like for example, Merlin should not have 400 million $400 million trading volume in the past 24 hours, because right now it's not like crazy bull market. Just because people are trading tokens they like, but also earn more points. And when they earn points, they can get airdrops for the next token. And like for average user, they get $200, $100 to $200 per airdrop. And they're having like 5-7 airdrops per week. So if you think about getting airdrops on Binance Alpha every week, you're basically making more money than an average daily job. So that's why people are doing the points farming, trading, and then get more airdrops and trade more.
Gotcha.
Binance Alpha, dude.
Let's just say like I started the Binance Alpha account today. Am I eligible to buy Alpha coins? Right, like if I start the Binance account today, am I eligible right away to trade Alpha coins? So it's off the very beginning.
Yeah, and you don't need to like understand what is chain, pancake swap, or gas. You don't have to understand anything. The whole experience is just like buying any token on the centralized chain.
Yeah, but imagine that, like, okay, if you did do some research, right, and then you're like, okay, this is a new token. I know that this is what their future is, blah blah blah. So you could buy, you could trade as well, obviously, trade, spot trade or whatever. But like, but you're earning those points. That's the whole idea of this. Is like, this is like we probably need to incorporate this and do a episode on it.
Well, I mean, Jeff probably knows, but if I trade the token, if I buy Merl one time and just hold it, am I accumulating points the entire time I'm holding that, or do I have to constantly trade?
No, it's per transaction.
Yeah, they want you to trade more. So this is typical Asian, growth strategy. Train you to trade more, and somehow you got hooked. With one token you got hooked, and you just deposit more. And I don't know. I think that's a great strategy because they want you to be active.
Absolutely great strategy.
I miss the holders. Like I just want to hold tokens and forget I have them, right? Like I want to earn points that way. But I get it.
But just imagine if you're trying to trade a token to get more points, you still have to pick a token. So among all these 30 different alpha, 50 different alpha tokens, why are you picking a token? Means a lot, and that's how you pick or hold, because you can always trade and hold, but you're not going to trade all 50 tokens, right? Because you want to trade tokens with like the smallest slippage and highest trading volume.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. The last thing is the new kind of staking. Is that set? So there's basically another option, right?
Yeah. So this is like a new feature. A new staking mechanism starting next week. We announced this week because when you withdraw from the current staking, it takes like 7 days, right? So we are trying to give more time for users to unstake their Merl, and probably next Wednesday we will launch the new mechanism. But that one, like, I don't encourage people to do that because it's like a 6-month fixed time. But you can get the 45% yields on daily basis. So you get the yields on daily basis. And we're trying to encourage, because there are lots of community members. They just say, like, I'm not going to sell these tokens in the next 2 years because I believe Bitcoin ecosystem is just the start. No ecosystem can grow to like $1 billion, $10 billion dollar value in just like 12 months. So these holders, they can choose this type of mechanism because it gives you the best APR, and it encourages diamond hands to hold longer, and because you're still getting daily APR, so you can sell these tokens to secure your initial deposit, but you're still holding the big chunk in the long run.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I'm just going to read this for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. A tweet from you guys. A new spell is coming to the realm of Merlin Layer 2. Next week, Merlin Chain will be launching a new fixed staking program. Stake your Merl for 6 months and earn a spicy 45% APR with rewards claimable anytime. Basically what you said. If you're currently in a flexible Merl POS 15% APR, unstake now to join because you do have to wait that 7 days. Dude, 45% is insane. You're telling me I can lock up my Merl for 6 months, forget about it, and potentially be the back end of the bull market anyway.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too, is that like you can also do the compound interest thing here. I don't know, can you? So you can get your rewards, roll that back in, get your rewards, roll that back in. So, I mean, but
or you can do like arbitrage. You can stake and do short. That's what traders do. When you stake and you do short on perps. And no matter the price goes up or down, you're making money because you're just shorting the opportunity there. Because if the price goes down, you're shorting. Like when you short, you make money, right? And after 6 months, you get all these tokens and you can sell them. So if you do the calculation for the experienced traders, it's always a win-win solution.
Yeah, but guys, that you gotta just do the research, and if it's a good fit for you, then that's a good fit for you. If not, you can continue on with the 15%, right? That's going to continue.
Okay. Yeah, of course, and because there are some holders, and also there are some institutions. If you check the on-chain address, you can see lots of addresses, act like institutions, and they are, they have 5 mil. Merl tokens, they have 10 million Merlin tokens, and they're going to stake because they can always do arbitrage on central exchange, but also getting more and more Merl tokens. So even though the price goes down, they're making money on the perps and they're getting more Merl tokens.
Yeah, that's insane. And then there's the other news as well. You guys are actually just listed on DYDX as well. I mean, I think it's all kind of happening at once for you guys at this point. This is insane.
Yeah, I think we're getting more and more listings in the next couple of days. So yeah, we're going to see more of this news, of course, and to open it up because last week the perp trading volume for Merl is crazy. I think like Thursday or Wednesday, I think it's like 300 million trading volume on just like 2 exchanges. I think on OKX is like 200 million, on Bybit is like 100 million. So we're trying to to stimulate more users to trade perps, because I think in this cycle many retail users, they don't trade spot. They don't want to hold your like stupid token, but they want to short you or long you, but just make money. So I think this is a good thing to do as well.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people are like they're like waiting for that big alt season, is because a lot of people they want to take leverage and they want to time it, but like centralized exchanges aren't stupid either. You know what I mean? Like, so like they're like, oh, all these people are like thinking it's alt season, they're all gonna long at the same time. Yeah. They're not gonna. It's not gonna be easy, but once we do get into that season, I think it will be fun. But yeah, Jeff, man, it's been amazing. And any other announcements that you have, or pretty much hit on everything?
Yeah, pretty much on everything, and we can share more next week too.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Get some rest. You need some rest for sure. You've been traveling so much, and we'll connect with you this weekend.
Cool.
All right.
See you guys.
Jeff.
Bye.
Yeah, man. All right, bring up this again. All right. Real quick before we get out of here, I just want to bring up the Artura thing and show you guys. That's why I had that out. I'm doing this new sharing thing where I'm just sharing the window, and that's where I got messed up. That's why the Artura thing was up. But because apparently it's supposed to be less freezing. But and anyway, Artura just announced the ARA token. Artura will Aura will be the native token powering our ecosystem through incentives, vault rewards, and referrals. Stay tuned for campaigns where early adopters can begin earning in our points program when mainnet goes live. So definitely awesome to see Artura. Artura usually joins us every Tuesday, but definitely want to share their news because they're not. They're actually in Vegas. If you are in Vegas, reach out to those guys. Get to know them because they're just amazing. So definitely check out everything here. at
One thing
Artura.
I do want to say as well is that if you did win one of those VIP passes from before, they do still have the spreadsheet. They have all the details there. So just be a little bit patient. I know you've been patient this entire time. Appreciate your patience, but they had to get the rebrand and platform and all that good stuff. And looks like it's right around the corner. So we'll get that information. If you did have one of those passes, and once they release that information out, if you haven't gotten it, just reach out to us and we'll get you connected with them, or you can reach out to them directly.
Yep. And that is our show for you guys today. We are 238 people on YouTube and X. Appreciate every single one of you guys, not to mention everyone on Abstract, Rumble, Twitch, and Spotify later.
Yes, sir. So if you are going to Vegas, guys, be careful. Have fun, but be careful. Make sure you guys are networking as much as you can. That's what it's about at these events, man. Shizzy and I have been to multiple, and you got to take advantage of those opportunities. But we thank you guys for supporting us, and without you guys, we couldn't do this. And we ask that you check out our partners as well. We would greatly appreciate that. Sats Terminal is the DEX aggregator of the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to swap Rune, Sats Terminal is the place to do it. You can actually earn Amber points as well. As soon as you connect your wallet for the first time, you get 1,000 Amber points. If you refer a friend, you get 500 immediately once they connect. And when you trade, you just accumulate Amber points, and that goes towards something in the future regarding Alpha and Sats Terminal. So they have all the runes. You're gonna have the most liquid, cheapest prices on Sats Terminal. If you are into Altcoins, they do support that now. Shizzy has traded Altcoins on there, and it's smooth, ready to go. So just follow these guys, keep looking out for them. Go to satsterminal.com today and check them out. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to take bets towards their Blitz markets, which is a 10-minute lock in the price up or down for Bitcoin, Solana, or BNB. And then you get an additional 10 minutes to see if you won or lost there. These guys are going to have amazing features coming out, kind of create your own path to success, because they're going to allow you to create your own custom markets, guys. And you can earn 1.5% of the total volume that's traded in your own market. So if you have a good social media following, this is, hey, what does it hurt to create your own market and see how that goes? So I'm excited about the future of this team. We've been able to see under the hood, and they got a lot of stuff coming. So check out betbtc.win, get familiar with the platform, and let us know if you have any questions there. And then the next one is, my mind just went blank. Why Emblem Vault? There we go. Dude, I like freaking my internet did earlier. Emblem Vault is one of our, they're OGs in the space, guys. Like, you have Jake Gallen, the CEO, you have Adam McBride. Like, you guys know these guys because they've been here for a while, right? They're going to be the interoperability layer for Bitcoin ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your ordinals from Bitcoin layer 1 to Abstract to Merlin to Base to eventually Solana, and you're going to be able to eventually use Agent Hustle to help you do that. Agent Hustle is their AI agent that helps you trade currently on Solana, but once they add the Bitcoin tech stack to his integration, he's going to be able to help you vault these ordinals, guys. So exciting times. This team's constantly releasing new features, new products. They also have a Rune TGE that's in September. If you're looking to get involved with that, you can actually purchase their pre-sale on OpenSea right now. If you search Emblem Founder Vaults, that is the pre-sale there. And then during their TGE in September, they're going to give you instructions on how to get those runes into your Bitcoin wallet there. Check out emblem.vision, dive deep into their docs, learn about them, do the research, guys. This team is really amazing, and they're OGs in our space. And then Artura, we just went over Artura. They're going to be launching on Hemi, Bitcoin Layer 2, along with Botonics. And they're getting really excited about the Botonic side of things as well, because they're going to be able to do a lot of co-promotion stuff, like possibly where users can really earn points and those kind of things. So look out for that. But you're going to be able to trade perps with synthetic Bitcoin tokens like Dog of the Moon, Ordi, and Sats perhaps, and then the popular out of the Bitcoin ecosystem tokens like XRP, Ethereum, Tau. And if you're not into trading, which completely understandable, there is a risk involved with that. But if you are more to just want to be a part of the community or a part of the project, you can add liquidity to the vaults to kind of help sustain that and earn passively there. But head over to artura.finance, learn about their coming up launch. And if you have any questions, let us know, guys. And then Fluid Tokens, the UTXO Wizard devs, the first to offer staking vaults to Bitcoin Layer 1 retail users. If you are a founder of an ordinal collection or you have an etched rune with an established community, it doesn't have to be a big community, just somewhat established, right? A small community is fine. Head over to their Discord, ask them how to get a staking vault started for your community. They'll hook you up. And Dog to the Moon, you can claim your rewards right now. So if you staked there, just go over, claim your rewards. And I heard that actually you don't even have to pay any fees. You actually make a little bit or something like that. I'm not going to say that you guaranteed to get.
Well, no, 100%. So basically, when I claimed, it was they sent the Bitcoin to that wallet that I claimed. So when I claimed it, the $2, I assumed that I was paying it, but then when I checked the transaction, it was paid from the staking wallet. I didn't even have to pay for it.
Yeah. But yeah, make sure you're claiming that, guys. It doesn't expire or anything, but like I'd be excited to get my dog out, right? So that's the whole point. But yeah, and then also they on the Cardano side, they have the aquarium that you can actually participate in and earn some Babel fees that way. And their airdrop tool, if you're a founder, Runes founder, or you want to airdrop some runes, check that out. It's very efficient, cost efficient, and it's timely. It's very, quick. So go to fluidtokens.com. And you can pick either the Bitcoin or Cardano side to dive in and really just learn about these guys. And then Tokyo Wallet, the smart multi-chain wallet, they're on Cardano and Bitcoin. They've been building to make your experience seamless, right? So you can actually go to the Apple App Store or Google Play, depending if you have an iPhone or an Android. Download the app. You can swap for runes. They're partnered with SAS Terminal, so SAS Terminal does that in the background for them. They do have a token, but do your research on that. Not financial advice. Just I would say go to Tokyo.io, and that's where you can really get connected there. The team is awesome. Check out our Bitcoin Blitz that we did all last week, I believe. We finished it up in the week before that. But these guys are awesome, and they'll be in Vegas as well. You can actually earn some free, you can earn some merch. You don't have to pay for it. You just got to download the app, I think, and you get a free cool Tokyo shirt. And then Merlin Chain, we just talked to our guy, Jeff, doing huge things. The Bitcoin Alpha, possibly working something with Sui in the future. They also have their Wizard AI 0.03 that's out right now. And you can utilize that to swap, stake, and do stuff that we just talked about, right? If you head over to merlinchain.io and you click on stake, you can stake your Merlin chain tokens for 15% APR to help secure the chain. And next week, there's going to be the 6-month lock that can earn you 45% APR that you can actually claim your rewards daily. So that's exciting. I expect continual events to come out from this, his team and stuff like that. So keep your eye on them, follow them on X, and you can kind of see the updates there. Excited about them. Check out merlinchain.io. And lastly, but not least, is our integrated partners in Jungle, formerly known as Foxy. And they have the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse. But we have an exciting stream today at 3 p.m. Eastern, so we can get our guy Glass in there as well with his partner. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern. All you have to have is a Bitcoin supported wallet, and you can pick your clan. And then we'll go to war for about 45 minutes. It's really fun. Check that out as well. And then Ordinal Hive is the aggregator Ordinal marketplace. Cheapest Ordinals around will be on Ordinal Hive because they aggregate them. And they have some amazing trader tools as well. And thank you guys for checking us out and putting up with my extended breakdown at the end there. But yeah, we appreciate you guys so much.
Yep. And if you guys wouldn't mind checking out OnChain Revolution .io, we have some of the best articles. Brand new article just popped up, guys. Bitcoin and Ethereum go corporate. Trump media and a Sharplink lead the crypto Treasury wave. Definitely check out this article. Just posted, brand new as of today. And we've got many articles though, all the way to 2023. So if you want to catch up on exactly what was happening every single month, even week, reading these articles one by one would really get you guys caught up to exactly where we are today. So if you're new to the Bitcoin crypto ecosystem, no worries. We have everything you need right here. And if you guys need a VPN, I highly recommend a VPN, as Nord is personally my favorite. I actually have 2 full accounts because each account gets you 5 VPNs. In my house, we have over 10 devices, so I need a bunch. I need one on every device. That's just my personal opinion. But I don't want to go to any site, I don't care what it is, and be giving my IP address away. You don't want that. I don't want that. Don't do it. Your IP could actually lead to your address. If you are a Bitcoiner like myself, you don't want anyone to have your personal address, especially where that's where you hang your head at night, right? You don't want that. I don't want that. Don't do it. Get a VPN. Bitcoin in Vegas is happening today. If you guys are down there and like, damn, I wish I had tickets, just go to our site. You can buy them right there, and you can walk right in the front door today. I think today is just for the industry pass, but tomorrow is the festival pass, and then Thursday also the festival pass as well. But big news coming out of Vegas today. Really looking forward to just watching what is happening over there. But guys, check everything out here at OnChainRevolution.io, and we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.